Hello everyone, today I'm going to be giving you a guide on the Cave of Abyss. I'm just going to walk you through with me and try to explain everything as I go along. On top of that, we'll also be going through all three bosses and giving you a breakdown of what each one does and the best way to attack them and counter their attack. So we'll go over here to World, Cave of Abyss. Right now we got the 2x event going on for the rewards. Now any heroes that you put in this will not be taken away from being able to use inside the Abyss. So just pick whichever ones that allow you to and don't worry about losing them in battle. We'll just do the Explore All-In badge, which eventually gets unlocked I think at a certain VIP or a certain level. As far as the Abyss Essence, you see those blue things? You'll collect these from going and beating the bosses, collecting the chests. Once you get this to the next level, you'll be getting better rewards inside the game. So big thing we're trying to get here is we want to go up against Infernus. That's going to be the kind of red boss. That's what the whole event is going on right now for the mining of the cave ore, and we can get a good chunk of them if we do run into them. There is 3 different chests I believe in this, and obviously the normal ones are just going to give you this right here. The next one I think is the advanced one. That one gives you a bunch of these cave ores, but the epic one doesn't really seem to give you any of the cave ores, but it does give you a bunch of those blue embers there. So Player Zoltan, this is going to be the first boss, and there is 3 of them in the game. The big thing that all 3 of these are going to share is the last 2 abilities. And that's going to be immune to crowd control and silence, and increase attack by 5% every 2 rounds. This is why when the match goes and takes longer and longer, they get stronger and stronger. Pretty much leaves you to the point where you get one-shotted. So this is going to be the boss that we want to go in with some AoE attacks if we have them. It's going to be a larger tree with 2 smaller ones. Hence, we want to make sure we're hitting all 3 with AoE, area of effect, just to prevent anybody from asking inside the comments. Their active skill is going to be add a 20% attack buff for 5 turns. And you'll see this on top of them where you're going to see a little blue sword. That is the attack buff icon. The first passive is going to be 120% attack damage to 3 of your heroes. Reduce magic damage by 20%. Now there's really no good way to know inside the game here of what magic damage is. If we go and click on a hero, we see here nothing really listed as magic. If we click on the stats over here, still nothing really specifying magic. The big indicator is going to be when you go and click on these heroes here and you see the staff, which is going to be the intelligence roll. Doesn't matter if it's a healer or a supporter, if you see that staff, no, this is probably me what's doing the magic damage. Everything else, as far as I know, would be pretty much considered physical attacks. They might have some magical mixed in there, but this is just kind of a good reference until we know a little bit more about the game. And the last passive is going to be at the beginning of every 2 rounds. It's going to put one of your heroes to sleep. So we'll go in here, just kind of get a quick show of what's going to happen inside here. And I think we're going to go and take that one out. So let me go back out of it. Once again, we're in it. We can back out of it. We can go switch heroes and put whatever gear we on and select the one we like. So I'm going to unequip everything from Xander, and we're going to go in with Dexter here. Kaon might not be ideal for this one, but given how high his star level is, I'm going to go in with it because even if I do switch over to something more of an AoE, it probably isn't going to do better what he's putting out. And yes, he is considered AoE, but it is in a straight line. We want to have things hit left to right. Babu's pretty much the same situation as Kaon there. He's such a high star level for me, nothing else is going to compare, but he's still going to be doing some AoE with his Violent Crash active ability. Now for Almond and Lulu, they're just my go-to on things, even though they do have magic damage to them. Obviously, I want that continuous heal, and I want that increased attack buff from Lulu. So we'll just go in here, see how things play out. Right away, we'll start hitting off with a ton of damage, and then it'll slowly creep down as this thing levels up. So you can see there's our first attack buff, the little blue sword over him. And as I said, these will stack up as the mission goes on. Now, if we look down at the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see your best score on it there of what we've done. This was all pre the actual global release, so I was doing a lot more damage. I think they made this a little bit harder inside the game, so I won't be hitting that 12 million in a while there. On the other note, though, if we want to see how our heroes are doing, we do have these 3 little bars down the bottom left, and we can go see the stats. We can see how much is healing, whatever. It's translucent too. We can change the meter of how much we see. So you can see nice and dark there. Kaon's doing the most damage, and we can also see what the boss is doing too. I usually get about 16, 17 chests on this on my normal runs, and sometimes I get lucky, maybe getting 18 or a 19. And for reference, I just got to chapter 15. Still free to play, haven't spent any money on it. So we did get some rare +1s out of it there, and we also got some of these things here which we use over in the shop to purchase new heroes. If you find yourself constantly going over to alchemy here and then selecting your gear in here and then auto registering it to be dismantled, we can actually go and set it up inside Cave of the Abyss here by going through, hitting this settings icon over here and selecting, okay, I don't want to have those rare pluses. It'll automatically get converted over into enhancement stones. Now, because I was talking, I wasn't paying attention, I actually wanted to pause the game right before I died on it. Because when we pause the game, we can actually forfeit the match, we won't lose any torches at all, we can go and decide what we want to use for our heroes to try to make that number down the bottom right even higher. And if you're unsure of which heroes to switch between, this is great down here in the bottom. We can click on the ranking, we can see what the top players are doing in our server for each of the 3 bosses. So we just went up against Blader here. I can go over here to the right. Cake, he's the one pretty much running this server here. I can go in and see which heroes he's using. Now you can see we can't actually hold down on it and click the name or anything, so you just got to kind of learn the images of these. I mean, we see a Dexter there, I see a Lulu there, so I kind of have an idea. If you're not certain on it, take a screenshot and then go back over. But it's never a bad idea to go in and just kind of see what each of the top 3 people are doing here and what they're using. I mean, that's 25 million damage. Look at that right there. That's a lot. So that might be a hero you want to use. And in case you're wondering, that was Carmen that he was using in there that put up those big numbers. Now I just want to show you here that you can go and pause the game, retry it, hit forfeit. I'm not going to do it because these are pretty much the ones that are putting up the big numbers for me when going up against this boss. But this will allow you to pop out of here, go try the heroes that you want to, and see what you do for numbers. Going back in, once again, won't cost you any torches. So you can see there, that was a massive chest, and we didn't get any of those cave ores that we've been trying to hunt down. They are nice to get those though. Normal chest, we get the cave ores. So if we need to get some more torches, there are a couple of spots we can do so. First of all, we can click on the plus here. That'll allow us to purchase a set of 10 torches for 500 gems each. You can only do this twice here. The other spot is sometimes you'll see it inside the soul shop here. They're not always in there, but it's usually the same thing, 10 torches for 500. If you're really hungry for it, you can re-roll it for 50 diamonds, 50 gems, whatever you want to call them, and hope that you might get a chance to get them. With the event going on right now, I have been buying these. I'm trying to get as much good stuff as I can out of the whole exchange with being free to play. So we at least got an furnace here. I usually find that this is the last one I run into. It always seems like when I get down to that last final torch, he always pops up. But this is going to be the one that's giving us those big cave ores for this whole event going on. Same thing as the last boss, immune to crowd control and silence, and an increase of a 5% attack every 2 rounds. The active skill, 150% attack damage to all heroes and a 40% chance to stun. This one here is going to be doing 150% damage to all heroes in the front row. Now, I've tested this before. I was one that I typically put 2 of my strongest, usually Babu and Kan, up in the front, and I tried, so let me just move it back to the second row, technically make that my first row. It's still going to count that second row as your first row. So what I suggest is putting 1 tank right up at the very front, throw 2 behind that, and then 2 in the last row. So this one's going to be opposite of Zoltan there. This one's going to be 20% reduction for physical attacks. So this is going to be all our choppers, hitters, smackers, things like Calyx, Kaon, things like that are going to be doing less damage. So this would be where you'd want to try to really go with the intelligence class on it and see what you can do. Not a bad idea to still go in with 1 tank, but still we want to be going in with a lot of magic. And then at the beginning of every 2 rounds, it's going to pick 1 hero and take 30% health away from. Now, it's not the max health, it's whatever health they're sitting at. So if you're sitting at full health, which is say it's 10,000, it's going to be taking 3,000 away. But if you lose half your health and you're at 5,000, it's only going to be taking 1,500 away. And once again, we can go into the ranking, go over in Furnace, and just see what the top players are using. So give you an idea, Zlata, it looks like there, we got an Almond, and then Lulu, and Xander. So let's actually go in, we'll kick back over here. I'm going to go pull everything off of Dexter, equip, we're going to leave the rune though, and we're going to throw it on good old Sander here. And let's see, can we enhance this at all? We can. I just popped this on him the other day. It's only a rune of protection, but still I don't have a lot of legendary runes yet. So I don't believe we have a lot of torches left inside the game, or we could get more. So I think we'll just use the pre-cut record version for Voider there. We'll see what happens. I don't think there's any other place I can get them, but if there is, we'll roll it. If not, you'll be seeing me with a different shirt on. So you can see there that big swing attack that hits the front row. When I hit both of them up there, it would hit one for 15,000 and then the second one for about 7,700. Now we're just taking that just one hit. I'm sure I could probably do some more damage by resetting all my gear, putting new gear on a different hero, and then go and leveling that up. I'm one where I just keep 5 heroes maxed out on the most level equipment that they can, and if I do need to switch somebody, it all gets pulled off. If it's not a matching agility class, I'll go reset it and just start clicking that enhance button to get it back up to 40, 45, or level 50, wherever it's sitting at. Now, I could go and buy torches from the event going on right now, but I'm trying as hard as I can to stay free to play as long as I can, so we're going to avoid that. I'm going to go over and just refresh the shop once here. We're going, oh, that's the mall, not that one. Go to support, we're going to go to shop, and we'll just refresh. Let's just see if we get lucky. It's going to be a waste of 50 gems if I don't, but okay, there we go right there. We got one more torch. Let's go and see if we can get the last boss on this. And nothing, so you'll be seeing the recorded version right here. The next one's going to be Voider Zack, and this first move is going to hit all your heroes on the screen, doing 90% attack damage. At the same time, it will apply a bleed debuff, doing 60% attack damage for 3 turns. So right off the bat, this is a good indication that you want to throw some heroes out there that are going to remove debuffs from other heroes. And this is where my boy Almon comes in. If you saw the video from yesterday, then you know that at every 2 rounds, it's going to remove 2 debuffs from all the touching allies. The next one's going to be a basic attack, which is going to do 150% attack damage to a single target, but in this situation, it's also going to put another debuff on. This one will be receive damage increased by 30% for 2 turns. The other ones from here is just going to be a dodge rate of 30%, and the final one is going to be selects a target and goes and takes their energy and reduces it to 0. That one will happen every 2 turns. Now for my own personal gameplay, I actually switched out my 9-star Dexter and switched it over to an 8-star Sander, and I'm already seeing better results. So it just shows you right there that it doesn't really always matter on the star. Obviously, going in with a 10-star versus a 5-star will make a huge difference, but you do have a little bit of leeway there of what you can use. I hope this gives you a little bit better of an understanding of how this game mode is played, and if you want to know more about Almon, which I'm considering the best healer inside the game, check out this video right up over here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.